It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your mid-morning forecast update for the state. And we start off looking at some Skywatcher pictures, and this was from Scott Shields and Owens Crossroads. Beautiful fall colors starting to show there, especially in the maple trees there. You can see some nice reds and yellows in there, and definitely, especially in the northern part of the state and at the higher elevations, starting to see a little bit more color showing up. And as we've got a little bit of rain here and some colder temperatures, hopefully that'll help to get them popping here in the next week or two in a lot of spots across the state. Matt Cohen and Vincent sent us this pretty sunrise picture from this morning. Just looks nice seeing the sun starting to peek up over the horizon. They're not quite yet, but cool looking picture there from him. And then frost has been a big part of the story for this morning. We had frost advisory in effect for kind of the northern half of the state, and it verified here, at least in Morris. You see Christopher Owens got the good bit of frost across his yard there and in parts of the neighborhood there. So again, definitely had a good bit of frost across the area. Also had some fog as well. You see looking, the visible satellites, kind of hard to see, but in a few spots you see some little strips of white there showing up in some of the river valleys. That is fog that formed mainly along the river valleys. Didn't get as much elsewhere, not enough to reach dense fog advisory criteria. But looking across the rest of the state, no other clouds other than just that fog from this morning. Obviously that'll be burning off here fairly soon if it hasn't already. No rain to speak of. It'll be completely dry and sunny day out there. Now, one thing that happened this morning, kind of a big story in the Birmingham area, is a large fire in Birmingham's south side erupted a little bit before this. This is the smoke plume around 6:30 a.m. that the radar was picking up here, going basically starting into the south side, and then you can see the smoke plume was being pushed towards the southeast over Red Mountain. At that point, I think that plume's shifted a little bit more this direction in more recent times. But not showing as much on radar right now, but understand that structure started in a vacant structure, has spread to some other buildings nearby, and still may not be completely out yet. So I haven't heard of any reports of injury, so hopefully it stays that way. But that's definitely a big fire there in downtown Birmingham. Looking at our Skycam tour here in Huntsville, still maybe seeing a little bit of fog trying to hang around over in the horizon there. Earlier I had a few clouds blocking the view of downtown, some low clouds there near Montesano, but those have since moved on or cleared out. Otherwise, blue skies there. It's 50 degrees, a nice crisp morning. And we saw this morning with the Skycams that because a lot of these Skycams, especially the one on top of some of these mountains, are a little bit higher in elevation, you actually had warmer temperatures in that type of elevation versus the lower valleys where the coldest temperatures happen. So might be kind of reverse of what you might think in some cases, but in this kind of situation, that's what typically happens is you have the colder temperatures in the valleys. And now, as far as speaking of valleys, the river valley of the Black Warrior is in view here. And about an hour ago, we actually had a good bank of fog still sitting over the river here, just past the campus here of the University of Alabama in downtown Tuscaloosa. But at this point, it looks like that has now burned off and blue skies left over, 49 degrees there in Tuscaloosa. And as we move further to the south, those are looking really pretty there. No fog in sight here. Blue skies, it's 53, and the wind is mostly calm at this point. We're definitely not as breezy today as we were the last couple of days. Gulf Shores, beautiful out there. It's blue skies, maybe just a few clouds and low-hanging clouds over the Gulf, but it's 57 degrees there, and it's dry weather, just really nice weather if you happen to be at the beach. It's going to be kind of a cool day, but pretty nice out there. All right, so the low temperatures so far today got down again into the 30s across a good portion of the state. Got down to 34 degrees in Alexander City. Same thing in Selma. Got 35 in Greenville. Even all the way down to the state line, Geneva hit 39. So did Atmore, and even Mobile hit 39 degrees. So almost all of the state ended up in the 30s, but at least the 40s across the board, and even low 40s across the board. So a chilly morning, and we'll expect another one for tomorrow afternoon as well. Or tomorrow morning as well. Our wake-up temperatures from our Skywatchers got even a little bit chillier in some of our Skywatcher report stations. You got to 33 degrees from Tony Siegel and West Blockton. Same thing from Kyle Drake in Opelika. Kyle Hicks and Raglan hit 35. Matt Nicholson in Oxford also hit 35. And James Meisetik in Fayette hit 41 degrees. So again, another cool morning we'll expect for tomorrow too. So we'll see what we'll get for that. So temperatures right now though have warmed up a little bit. Now we're sitting about where we kind of maintained a lot of the last couple of days. Where we were sitting a lot of the time in the 50s. We're 53 in Alexander City. It's the same thing in Birmingham. It's still 49 in Huntsville. It's 54 in Troy. The difference for today, though, is that we're seeing full sunshine, and so we'll warm up a good bit. And actually looking at the temperature change from this time yesterday, earlier in the morning, the whole state was basically blue because we started off so cold compared to yesterday morning. So now as we warm up with the full sunshine, now we're starting to get above what we were this time yesterday. So it's kind of funny how that'll change over the course of the morning. So again, the highs for today then should be pretty much everywhere outside maybe some of the southwestern parts of the state will be a good bit warmer than yesterday, where we see full sunshine, highs in the mid 60s generally across the central part of the state, maybe low 60s, places like Huntsville hitting 61, and then upper 60s in some spots towards the south, might approach 70 degrees there in some of the spots in South Alabama. So it should be pretty comfortable out there later on this afternoon. All right, here's what we're watching for the next several days and into the week next week. Frost is again going to be a thing for tomorrow morning. We'll expect another cold start out there after a very dry, nice day today and a kind of a cool night for trick-or-treating. Spotty showers coming in on Sunday. Looks like mainly North Alabama at this point has a better chance of getting a few showers. And it's looking dry next week. We've been talking about the last few days. The model's been kind of struggling with an upper level low coming through starting on Sunday and then maybe lingering into Monday and Tuesday. All the models pretty much seem to be on board now with drying things out. So it's looking like we'll be fairly dry for next week. And again, we're not expecting much in the way of rain on Sunday, just a few showers here and there. Here's your forecast lows for tonight. So again, we'll be cold again, hitting 35 degrees in Gadsden and in Hamilton, 37 in Clanton. May only get into the low 40s down towards the south, so maybe not quite as cold in the southern part of the state. Looking at your futurecast as we move through the day today, just a few passing upper level clouds here and there, generally full sunshine. And for the last Friday night football games, or at least regular season games, and the trick-or-treating for tonight looks perfect. Again, it'll be kind of chilly out there, but definitely don't have to worry about any sort of rain or anything like that. It'll be really nice. Now, some clouds start to build in as we get into Saturday. So Saturday should be mostly dry, but you'll start to see some clouds moving in from the northwest over the course of the day. And then by the time we get into Saturday evening, more models are on board now trying to show this system coming in for Sunday, coming in a little bit earlier, maybe bringing a few showers, especially North and West Alabama as we get into Saturday evening. Main chance, though, still looks like it would be on Sunday for some showers moving through with this system. And again, North Alabama looks to have the best shot of that, although you can't rule out a few sprinkles in the south as well. Again, as we continue to move through Sunday, this is what the European model is showing. It's showing a little bit more than our high-resolution model is, but it does show that shower activity moving down southeast so that some of the southern and eastern parts of the state end up getting some showers later in the day on Sunday. But then by Monday, clearing things out, and then also by Tuesday as well, we should still stay pretty much clear at that point. And so again, we're expecting a dry forecast at this point with those days now that the models seem to have come into some better agreement on that. All right, so now taking a look at your trick-or-treat forecast again for tonight, looking pretty nice, but just a little bit cool out there. It's 58 degrees around the time that you're going to be starting in North Alabama, falling down through the 40s, so definitely want to bring some jackets along likely. You can see it's clear skies here. Don't pay attention to the lightning strikes you see here in the graphic. That's just kind of making it look a little scary for Halloween, but no problems with that. Clear skies out there and just a little bit cool. South Alabama, maybe just a little bit warmer, but still nice and fairly cool and what you would expect for Halloween. 61 degrees to start off around 6 o'clock and then falling through the 50s, maybe eventually hitting upper 40s, and especially some of the inland spots as you get later on into the night. But again, looks like a really great forecast for everybody getting out. Now, as we look into late next week into the following week, we're expecting to see a bit of a warming trend. You can see that looking at the outlook here from the Climate Prediction Center. So most of the states showing in kind of the orange above average range. So by the time we get to late next week, I think we're going to be getting highs back in the 70s for a little while. So that's kind of what's in store here. And taking a look at your 7-day forecast for North Alabama. Again, pretty glorious day for Halloween. Today, plenty of sunshine out there. Saturday, again, looks mostly good, except for starting to get some clouds and maybe a few showers coming in late. And then Sunday, a few showers again, but a lot of places not getting any showers, or not getting a lot at least. Remember, you need to push your clocks back early Sunday morning, or actually Saturday night before you go to bed. Push the clocks back because we're falling back to standard time on Sunday. And then again, after that, we're looking like we should be mainly dry. And then you see that warming trend as we get into middle and latter part of next week. For South Alabama, you can see just a little bit warmer today. Expect to get to the mid to upper 60s with sunshine. Probably a little bit more sunshine on Saturday than the northern part of the state, getting up almost to 70 degrees there. And then again, remember to fall back as well. And then as you can see, Monday through Thursday, kind of a slow sort of warming trend here. Still fairly cool mornings, but looking pretty nice there for your week for next week. Well, that is your Alabama forecast. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.